Now, I did see that Christian was able to drop an F-bomb the other night on TV, and you don't really hear the F word unless it's a mistake or a mishap, or the camera picked it up when somebody's, it takes a bump. Oh, my effing arm hurts, or that type of thing, right? You don't hear it directly on the mic. And if they do say it, it's usually beeped or something. This was a live broadcast. Is it for shock value? Like what else could it be, right? Like dropping F-bombs, bringing Edge back. Like, oh, we're the edgy company. We do this kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Compelling segment. Well done. Edge was super. Adam Copeland. It was funny. He said he had never heard. They were chanting Adam, 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 and he goes, "I've never heard that before. It sounds really awesome." Super emotional promo. Let's do it one more time. Let's go get these tag teams. Let's do it together.
Right, and then embrace.
They embrace, and Christian, looking at him, because Christian's a super heel, right? Super heel. Looking at him, finally embraces him, and then drops the go fuck yourself, right? It was a shocker. It was definitely a mic drop moment.
Mm-hmm.
Was it much? Was it necessary? Now, here's where I'll flip it and ask you the question. You worked with a guy very closely who was not, and I mean not sheepish, when it came to dropping the F-bomb every night on that microphone. But that camera wasn't always live to all the people watching. It was for the house a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, with kids watching, whatever, but this is 2023, did they go too far with it?
I feel like this time, no. I just, for me, I thought it was like shock value. Like, did he just say that? Like, oh my God. Like, there were so many first, with him being there, with Adam debuting, and then with this angle that they're doing, and then dropping the F word. Now, if they start to do it regularly, I think it's going to be a problem. With our program, in the early days, we were always live to tape. So we would be able to beep, beep, beep. You heard a lot of that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of our guys use that word very freely. And mostly in every promo, there was an F-bomb. It got to the point where it was a little too much. Now, ECW wasn't for the kids. We never marketed to a young audience, although they were in the audience. They were there.
Tony Khan was there.
Who?
Tony Khan.
Well, I'm talking about 5 and 6-year-old kids. If their parents wanted to take them to an ECW show, they knew what they were getting involved in. And it was on the parents. It wasn't on us. We're not going to change our product for you. You should know better not to get your children in this building. I mean, that's the way I looked at it. But when you're on a national level like this, and you do have children as your fan base, you need to kind of watch what you're doing. You know what I mean? So I feel like this was okay. But if they start to do this kind of stuff every single week, I think it's going to become a problem. And I think the viewership might go down, because not for nothing, if I'm walking through my house and I hear an F-bomb dropped on one of my kids' iPads, right away, I'm like, who you watching? Get that off. Who is that? Who's that guy? And then I look him up to see what kind of content he has. And like, my daughter's 14 years old, but I still don't want her listening to a guy who's going to say F every 5 seconds when he's playing the video game.
Right.
Like, that's not cool to me. Like, that kind of language we don't use in my house. You know what I mean? And if I can keep my kids in a bubble, I will. And I think a lot of parents might agree with me on that. So as much as, you like shock value and it's cool and it's edgy and it's hip, you're going to lose some of your younger demographic if you keep this pace up. So I think once is fine, but I would say lay low for a while before it happens again.
They're saying the rated R era has begun. Maybe they're taking that very literally. The rated R superstar is there. But again, I have to say, I think that's the best segment that they've had, both on Dynamite and then the pay-per-view segment as well, in months.
Because they're going to have to change the TV rating if this kind of language keeps up. I don't know if it's for everyone now or if it's TV 14. I'm not really sure what comes on, when the show starts. But if they continue this language, it's going to have to be like, what is it, TV? Would it be 17 or rated R? Which would be
BTVMA.
MA. Yeah, that's even worse.
Which, I don't even know. Do they even do that for shows? I haven't even seen that. I haven't watched regular TV in so long. I don't even know if they still do that.
I know on a couple of my reality shows, it comes up in the I think it's the upper left hand corner. But if you're a parent and you're not privy, you don't sit down with your kids and you actually watch the program, and you're just walking by and you see a TV MA, you're going to tell your 9-year-old, get this off. What are you watching? Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Some parents might not care, and that's fine. You raise your kids the way you want to. But for me, I wouldn't let them watch a mature show at a young age. It's just not happening in my house.
Yeah, even in the Attitude Era, they didn't drop the F-bomb on WWF TV. I mean, they might throw out a curse that snuck through, but they'd throw the bleep out, or they would have the 7-second delay,
right?
And you'd hear it drop out.
Okay.
If it made it through, it would drop, and that's, again, why I was shocked it made it through. And good, it was great for shock value, but we are desensitized to, curse words and swearing.
Right.
In this day and age. And that is not old man yelling at the cloud. That is not, again, I'm the same way that you are. I don't want my kids talking that way. It's just the way I was brought up. I still don't curse in front of my mom, my dad, my grandma just passed away. Nobody says anything bad in front of her. No.
Yeah.
Just the way it was.
I think it's a respect thing too. And I heard a father was with his young teenage son over the weekend. Every other word was the F word. And the kid was kind of just standing there. And I'm just like, oh, okay. I felt uncomfortable because I was just like, do you have to curse so much in front of your son?
He wasn't looking at your leather pants, was he?
I don't know what he was looking at, but
because if he was looking at your leather pants, then the F-bomb might have been appropriate.
But you get my point. Like I get the point. Yeah, I don't like it, but I think in this case, I think it was shock value.
Absolutely.
And I think it made everybody talk. And that's what you want to do. You want to get everybody talking about your product. So good for Tony.